Our first guest is an Emmy award-winning producer and the host of the YouTube series Mad in the Kitchen. We welcome back to AM Northwest our good friend Madeline Smithberg. Hey Madeline, how are you?
Hi Helen, I'm great.
You have been doing so well, haven't you? I mean, like things have just exploded.
It is so weird because it's all been happening without me leaving my house. So yeah, like I am so busy and I'm so grateful to be busy because, you know, last time I checked, I was on my couch in my sweatpants and wondering what I was going to do with the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And now it's like it is exploding. I did the Today Show again.
Oh wait, let's talk about the Today Show because they love you there just like we do. How does anyone not love you? But you had like a little accident, didn't you?
Yes, Helen. I am proud to say that I burnt my hands on national television. I had a finished product in the oven.
Yeah.
The oven was off, but it was on a metal. I know. There went my fingerprints. I mean, the good news is now I can be part, and you know, witness protection. I have no identity. I was fine.
Yeah.
But it was just like an out-of-body experience because I knew that it was happening on the Today Show.
Yeah.
And there was no turning back. But in the midst of doing that, we've started a Zoom cooking like business. And it was just the same thing where I go, yeah, you can cook with me on Zoom. All of a sudden, we had one event with 150 educators from across the country in the National Teachers Union.
What?
I did a giant event for Amazon. And we've upped our game because now we do this thing called Party in a Box. And we did all these Amazon employees and we sent them all the food, all packed. And they get Mad in the Kitchen chef hats. And they get Mad in the Kitchen clappers.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
They can ask me.
Oh
my. But each one of these has like a recipe and a recipe card. And it's just, so I've been doing a lot of deep breathing.
That's so great. And, you know, not only is your professional life going really well, but your personal life is going really well. I want to explain to viewers that your love story is really amazing.
Yeah, well, it's basically I married the love of my life, and he dumped me in 1986, and he found me.
You were devastated. You were devastated when.
Devastated, but I didn't have time to mourn because at the exact same second that he was on the phone telling me we had to talk, I got a note that said, call Darcy about a job at Letterman. So in 1 second, I got the job of my dreams and my heart was broken. It was like an emotional wash.
Right.
But then he found me 30 years later on Facebook, of all places, and we rekindled our romance and he asked me to move to Seattle. And we were supposed to have this big wedding in Mexico on March 21st of 2020. And guess what didn't happen?
Yeah.
We went before a judge and that was that. But we got married and I love him. And we've had our honeymoon in quarantine, which is interesting, not recommended.
Yeah.
And, but we got to take our honeymoon finally. We had credit at the hotel of Loreto Bay in Loreto, Mexico, which is beautiful on the Sea of Cortez. And we went for 11 days. But here's the catch. Nothing we do is normal. We brought our children. So that's my son and Sam's son, Noah. And we had a lovely, 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 lovely time. Not a traditional honeymoon, but a lovely, lovely time.
What is the one thing you love about Sam?
Okay, Sam is so smart. He's so curious and there's so much in his head. And it's a big head. And he's just like shocks me with the things that he knows. And we watch Jeopardy and I'm like, how do you know that? And he's like, don't you know that? And I'm like, no. But he's funny and he loves me and he loves adventures and road trips. And he's now the CFO of Mad in the Kitchen, LLC.
Well, remember the very first time we did a cooking segment with you, and he was doing the camera, and we had trouble making sure we could see all of you. Like,
Yeah. Well, right now he's not on the camera. He still works full time. He's an architect.
Yeah.
And now you have the lovely Marisa is camera two, who is our associate producer, social media manager, genius, angel person. And yeah, it's really fun, Helen.
Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Letterman, and I want to hear about one of your favorite guests.
Okay, so I always when I come on here, I want a story because your boss, of course, has a little interest in my days at Letterman, and just told me that possibly we were in an elevator together in 30 Rock in 1992, and I have a clear memory of that ride, and I don't know why he was eating a tuna sandwich in an elevator. It stuck with me. But, my job, I was the human interest booker and producer, and I had to scour the world, the English-speaking world, for characters, people with weird hobbies, obsessions, things that they did, but didn't know that there was any comedic potential, which was the catch. And I did it all without the internet. I read 30 local papers a day, and like a lot of national ones, magazines. I called every local affiliate and said, hey, what is your features reporter doing?
Right.
Anything interesting? So I don't know how I found this guy, but really in 6 years of insane experiences with interesting people, it was like the human nature at its most raw and comedically potential. Anyway, this guy was Captain Maurice Sedden, and he was an earl, I believe, which is sort of great because everybody's talking about Bridgerton.
Yeah.
And he was of that world, and he had a castle. The only problem was he didn't have any money. So he lived alone in this giant castle, and he got cold. So, necessity is the mother of invention, and he needed to keep warm. So he invented electrically heated clothing.
Wow.
The only problem was he made it all by hand, and it wasn't very practical.
Yeah.
Because you had to be near a plug, and he didn't really have extension cords. So he couldn't really go very far in the castle.
Yeah.
And he shows up to the show, and he's in leather from top to bottom. He was a motorcycle enthusiast, and that was some old leather. And he smelled of garlic. And sure enough, he had cloves of garlic coming out of every pocket in his leather pants. And he believed that garlic would keep him young and healthy and hopefully warm.
Yeah.
And so he would eat it the way you would eat like Tic Tacs.
Oh my God.
So the guy stunk of garlic, and he brings all this ridiculous clothing that has wires protruding everywhere.
We've got a clip of that, so let's take a look at it.
Would you like David to feel this glove?
Would I?
Just put a hand in. Put your left hand.
Left hand in. Oh, how okay.
I should really have shown
How
you.
long has this been on?
Oh, about the last 5 or 10 minutes, I suppose.
Just slip that on. Well.
Jeez! Everywhere
No, I hit a wire. I hit a wire.
I'm awfully sorry. I'll tell you what has happened here. These things, you see, are intended for use in cold
He was really hurt.
He was really hurt. He said it was like putting your hand in a toaster. Oh my God.
And you brought him
When
back again, didn't you?
Well, he got bumped. We only had a little tiny bit of time. We flew him all the way from England, and then we kept him in a hotel in New York for 8 days, but he never went out. He didn't do anything. I think he was just so happy to have heating that he just stayed in the hotel for 8 days waiting for me to call and go, you're on again.
That's too funny. All right, Madeline, I want you to hang right there because we're going to take a break and you're going to cook for us. So we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away. Welcome back to AM Northwest. We're back with the host of Mad in the Kitchen, Madeline Smithberg, here to show us a delicious treat perfect for Valentine's Day. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Helen.
So what are we going to make for Valentine's Day?
Before we do that, I just want to show you something because it makes me very happy. you have officially made it onto my fridge of fame.
Yay!
You're with Hoda and Jenna and Jason, and the only reason he's bigger is because I screwed up the printer settings. But there you are, and it's very exciting. Okay,
I feel
so first of all,
honored.
I want to say Valentine's Day is one of the worst holidays ever. Because if you're in a relationship, every day should be romantic.
Okay.
And if you're not, it just makes you feel terrible.
Right. Oh, you're so
So
right.
having said that, I love it because it's a pink holiday and everything's pretty, but I do understand that it's tough for some people. So I am making something that you can either have alone or with another person, and it's perfect for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And what it is Puff Pastry hearts.
Ooh.
And I'm going to make them with apricot jam, brie, and pecans.
Okay.
So let's get going.
All right.
We're just going to sprinkle a little flour onto this is a puff pastry. You can get it in the supermarket.
Yeah.
Don't roll it too much. It's not cookie dough, but you do just want to take some of the air out of it. And then I got this very pretty heart-shaped cookie cutter. And I'm just going to go along and I make my little heart-shaped puff pastries. And I'm going to it's fun, it's
Yeah.
like crafty and pretty. And then you do that and you just stick them in the oven. You bake them first for about 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then I actually made a mistake and I did them with everything on them and it was a disaster. And I cried. So I adjusted the process. This is why we rehearse. But look how they come out. They're so pretty. And then I mush them down just because I like the sound. The sound is so good. And then I take a little bit of apricot jam that I stick in the microwave for about 20 seconds. And this is where I get crafty. You just paint it gently onto the puff pastry. And it works perfectly. It's not doing it now. Because it got cool while we were talking about Captain Maurice Sedden and his electrically heated clothing and my Zoom cooking classes, but it really does work, I promise. I'm going to kill it right now. Anyway, you cut your brie into quarters to little 1-inch squares. Then you put a little brie. Then you put a pecan. You make it pretty.
Yeah.
Not like I've done. Then you put on your mitts.
Yeah.
This is what I didn't do on the Today Show. And yes, these will be pretty pink Matt in the Kitchen mitts.
Yay.
And they will soon be available along with the kitchen rugs on madinthekitchen.com.
Can't
as
wait.
well as information on our Zoom cooking classes.
Yay.
Great for families, companies. Anyway, you take them out. And then you move the dough. You put a pretty flour on it.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, it's actually delicious and beautiful.
Yeah, that's
And
perfect.
simple and easy. And I promise if you just put the jam in the microwave and get it while it's hot, it paints on beautifully. But it's so simple, so
That's
delicious.
perfect. Oh, that's a
And
great
really
idea for
special.
Valentine's Day. Yeah, love
Really
it.
special.
Madeline, thank you so much. That was great.
You're so welcome. And I'm watching you as Irma Bombeck tonight. I have a date.
Okay. Thank
with
you
my
so much.
husband.
You're a
I'm so
sweetheart.
proud of you.
Thank you. All right. I
Bye.
can't wait to
Happy
see you again.
Valentine's Day.
Bye. All right. We'll be right back with more AM Northwest.